Right. So this video is about moving beyond ideas of patriotism, nationhood, patriotism, all these things, right? Because there is to be some kind of time when when you had to be like, hey, if I am investing and I am investing all this energy into my own country, into my own people, right? I am emotionally investing, I am spiritually investing, I am financially investing, I am investing my soul, I am investing my suggestions. I am investing my contributions day in, day out, day in, day out. I am investing all of me, right, into building my country, making my country better, into seeking improvement of my country, right? And it's nothing coming out of that. And people are putting in the equivalent effort as you or more, right? Equivalent effort or more than you. Then what's the point? Then what's the point? Right? Then migrate and find alternative locations of abundance. Right? The earth is big, right? Then migrate and find alternative locations of abundance throughout the world, right? Netherlands, Switzerland, wherever it is, Middle East, wherever, right? Wherever it is you want to go, just go, right? Dubai, right? Migrate and find alternative locations of abundance, because if it is you are investing all your effort and energy here, right? And you realize that people are not equivalent in terms of what it is you are trying to do, and you are trying to make your country to a better place, right? Migrate, or either withdraw your energy from doing so, right? That's all. So it has to do with and allow people to come here who could be taken off and who will be able to will and make this country better, right? Allow people to come in, right? Whether Muslim, whether wherever it is, right? Make people come, help people to come in here that can make the country better, right? Because anyhow, the idea is to move beyond the notions of borders, right? Because this idea of borders is what actually causes a lot of damage in the world as well. And the idea that this is my geographic space and I will do anything to protect this geographic space that is mine because it's mine. Not because I would do anything to protect it, full stop, but I would do anything to protect it because it's mine. That is the idea that causes a lot of pain and suffering in the world. Right? The idea that I have to protect this geographic space, such as Trinidad and Tobago, because I own Trinidad and Tobago. Right? That idea was the idea that I must protect America because it has borders, right? Whatever imaginary border you imagine around America, right? You have to protect America because that's your country, right? That idea is damaging, right? So then a lot of people who suffer, and if there's Muslims, if there's anybody suffering, Venezuelans, if there's anybody suffering, right, in another country by hands of their own leadership or their own people, and they are seeking refuge in another place, right? You deny them because, oh, this is my imaginary country. This is my imaginary border. This is my imaginary country, right? So you're denying people assistance because you believe in some imaginary concept that this is mine, right? So that idea, right? That idea is why a lot of leadership and stuff is going to die, right? A lot of leadership, meaning country leadership, all these things, right? People leading countries, all that, because you have a wrong idea of what life is, right? So protecting the people in your country is one thing, right? But denying the existence of another human and denying the suffering of another human is also another thing, right? So these are all things that have to be worked out. Meaning that these borders are saying, hey, I am because both there are both people suffering within your borders and outside of your borders. So it's to realize, hey, suffering has taken place in my borders and outside of my borders, right? So even if I try to say protect this because this is mine, it means that still has somebody out there suffering. And that's what all leaders need to realize, come together in a meeting. This is the meeting, and the meeting is now. Right? This is the meeting, and the appointment is now. The meeting is now. The appointment of world leadership is now. Right? If there's someone suffering within my nation, it means that also there's somebody suffering outside of my nation. Right? And that's why the notion of borders had to be dissolved in order so that we could all take care of each other. Right? If once the notion of borders dissolved, it means that, hey, I could freely go here, you could freely go there, right? And we could take care of each other. And it's not for the purpose of invading and capturing and invading people and capturing people, right? And annihilating people, but it's for the purpose of helping people, right? It's for the purpose of helping people. That's what we had to do, help people, right? So the meeting with world leadership is now, right? The World Summit, right? I always want to call it summit, right? The World Summit leadership is now with all the how much countries and whatever, right? The meeting is now, right? The appointment is now, right? This idea of this is mine, my country, right? I am the leader of this nation. This is my country, right? The all these things, right? You all have to sit and think about, hey, is it at the expense of the suffering of somebody else in another country, right? This being called my country, is it at the expense of somebody suffering in another country, right? And why? And why? Right? So it's about understanding that, understanding humanity, right? That is what this is about, understanding humanity, right? Meaning that if there's one person suffering here, we had to have the heart to know that there's somebody suffering elsewhere, right? That's all. That's all it is to it, right? So it's moving beyond the ideas of patriotism. So, hey, I see a video the other day, right? It's saying that America gonna belong to the rich. All you wish, right? America, it said, going to belong to the rich only, meaning everybody else go and get drive out of America, right? America is just a name of a country, right? That's why I eat Oreos just now, right? Oreos I read online came from America. I don't know how true it is. England is just a name of a country, right? So, if I see a video and somebody said they're proud to be British, and I get vexed for that, I wrong, and I admit I wrong for that, because I am seeing Britain as white, and Britain is not white. Britain is actually Indian. Britain is Muslim. Britain is African. Britain is anything but white, right? Britain doesn't belong to white, right? So if I see a video and somebody go, oh, they're proud to be British, and I get vexed for that, I am in the wrong, and I know I am in the wrong, right? So if I get vexed because somebody said they're proud to be British, it means that I have some kind of race element in me that I need to resolve, right? Because I have some kind of hurt, right? So there's helping people get over hurt now, right? I mean, I have some kind of hurt based on what I know to be British did unto me, right? So I see you say you're proud to be British, right? And I feel like kind of real way, and I feel real like hardcore hurt about that, right? That meaning that Britain did something to me in the past that I still need to resolve within me. There's some hurt within me that England did, or the England that I know, right? I know England, so I have an idea of England, right? That's something. My idea of England is what caused pain to me, right? I know England to be whites, right? I know England to be whites and white leadership, right? I know England to be whites and white leadership, right? And why a white leadership did something to me. And same thing with America, right? You know America to be something, right? You know America to be something. And that idea of what you know America to be cause some pain inside of you. So it's not America causing pain in you, you know. It's the people within America who you believe cause pain onto you, right? That's what pain in you. It's not America as any geographic location pain you. It's not England as any geography pain you, right? Is what you know, right, from your past that happened. That is what pain you, right? So it's not the borders, right? So this is me telling people now to do not flee, right? You do not have to flee from an imaginary people that do not want you, right? Do not flee from your idea, meaning that don't be intimidated, right? Do not be intimidated, right, by a group of imaginary people or what you imagine a place to be to run you, right? So this idea that, oh, America only going to belong to certain people in the future, or America only going to belong to white rich people in the future, England only belong to certain group of people, right? Flawed false, right? So there's encouraging people again to stand their ground. Hey, you want to live America, you live America. You want to live England, you live England, right? Because you don't have to be a user patriot to your country. It's true that this and all is telling people that, hey, they can run you. So if you white and you in England, you have the power to run anybody you want to run from your country, right? Go back to Trinidad where you belong, right? That way they tell me, right? So hey, so there's what I tell, if you really want to live England, you go and set up a place in England and live, right? So migrate to places of alternative abundance, right? Proud to be British, right? Proud to be British mean that I'm proud to be a Muslim Indian in Britain, right? That's what I mean, right? I'm proud to be a Muslim Indian living in Britain, right? So look at these things clear. So when people say this and I feel hurt, you feel hurt about this, right? It don't mean that thing, right? It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that I'm proud to be white, right? So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you're proud to be white, right? And it should never be, right? Um, it, you should never be, right? So England now, right? We, right, are transforming England, right? England is not, when you think about England, when you think about America, right, it shouldn't have to be that I think about white, right? So this is why we're trying to get over that colonial hurt, right? That imprint, that blueprint that they stamp upon you to always cause a division now, right? So you're trying to get over and to rewrite that coding on our bodies and minds, right? Rewrite any coding, right? On our bodies and minds that have us thinking, hey, just by the name America, we get triggered. Just by the name England, if somebody mention the name England, you get triggered. If somebody mention the name America, you get triggered, right? And it's because and it's not for a false reason, right? And I understand that because it happened to me. I understand that this is not for, you have a valid reason for feeling that way. I have a valid, I get triggered. I just get triggered up to today, right? So it's kind of about we trying to remove those triggers, right? So it's to understand that, hey, just because that is a sound, right? America is a sound. England, Britain, right? Those are words. Those are words and those are sounds. And with those sounds and words, we attach to pain that happened to us generations ago, right? Because we hear the sound, we attach that sound, right? And it's a word, it's an English word, right? And it's a sound, right? It's a sound, England, England, right? And based on who he is now, and what he came here to do, because of who he is, he attached that sound to a particular pain memory, right? A pain memory, right? And that's what we're trying to change, that pain memory, right? And changing that, where it come with a lot of internal work too, right? Changing that pain memory. Changing that pain memory, not something you might ever forget, but is the association with the sound, right? Association with a sound, because England is just a sound, right? It's just an imaginary border, right? It's a sound and it's an imaginary border. America is a sound. America, right? It's a sound. It's nothing else. It's a sound. It's just a sound. It's a sound that go from loud and can go and go and go and can disappear, right? It's a sound, right? And it's an imaginary border, right? So it's doing away with all these things, right? Because at the end of the day, right? You don't want nobody telling you, oh, go back to the Middle East, that is where you belong. And I don't want nobody telling you, go back to the Middle East because that's where you belong. You have choice. You're supposed to have choice, right? It have worlds of alternative abundance all over, right? So, and nobody could intimidate nobody, right? And nobody could intimidate you, put you out of the country, right? If you want to live in a country, that country is yours. Meaning that you are allowed to live in the country, meaning that you are allowed to live and be free within a country without being discriminated against, without being told anything, right? So anybody could kick you out of the country and say, hey, well, go back to the Middle East, right? That is where you're supposed to be, right? Or go back to India, or go back to Africa, right? And nobody could do that to anybody anywhere in the world no more, right? So you could feel free to live anywhere, right? And be proud of anywhere you live in, right? Because you's you and I's me. I just choose to be in Trinidad. I just made the choice to be in Trinidad. I just made the choice to be in Trinidad because I like my country, right? I just choose to be in Trinidad, and I choose to be Trinidadian because I like Trinidad, right? I like to be Trinbagonian, right? Let me include Tobago. I love to be Trinbagonian, right? So I choose my country, and I choose to be in my country, and regardless of how much people leave, right? I choose to stay in my country and be in my country because I like my country. Right? It doesn't mean that, oh, I can do anything to defend anybody inside the country. If you're wrong, you're wrong, right? But what I'm saying is that I choose to make Trinidad my home. I choose to make this country my home, right? So, and you could do the same. Anybody could do the same wherever they want on the earth, right? So it's not about, hey, you had to stay here because you're a patriot or because I here or because so wherever it is, right? So you could be anywhere you want to be, right? You could actually be anywhere you want to be and proud to be anywhere you want to be, right? So you just clear up that scenario and move ahead, right? Good.